excited. You know, we thought it was 50-50. We would be at one or two sites. Either Knoxville, obviously, was the #1 team in the country, or if that didn't work out, we thought we were on our way to Blacksburg through Virginia Tech. So it kind of threw us a curveball, so to speak. But we're happy. It just means that we weren't the 64th team, or the 63rd, or the 62, or the 61st. So there was a lot of respect given us. So we really are appreciative of that.
How do you keep these guys focused on blocking out the noise and stuff like this?
Yeah, it's been tough because the MEAC Conference Championship is a week in advance of most others. So there's been a lot of dormant. The guys are ready to go. I mean, we have an inter-squad game scheduled for Tuesday just so the guys can get sharp. But, you know, they want to play ball. And it's been a long time coming, this waiting game. So we're just happy to know who we need to start scouting for.
You guys knew you were going to the tournament, but just what was that feeling like to see the name pop up?
It was surreal. It was a long time coming for Coppin State. For those guys to see little Coppin State on that screen among the big boys, so to speak, in college baseball, it's big time for the school. Big time.
Now this team's making school history. As the coach, I mean, just how special is this squad and what they're doing this season?
Well, they trust the coaching staff. When we look at champions, typically champions they'll lead by their coaches, their trust. I mean, we put together, I think, a great game plan. The coaches scout the team, their opponents really well in detail. And once we put the scouting plan together, it's the trust. If a kid trusts us, then they tend to execute. And it's all about executing the game plan. And I just think this team when they take the field, that they can absolutely compete and win against anyone. That's been the difference with this team and some of the last couple of teams that were really good, like the 2018 team and the 2019 team that set a school record for wins.
Coach, it came down to those last 3 innings at the MEAC. Defensively, you made critical plays, and then offensively, the bats really woke up. Talk about those last 3 innings at the MEAC and how it contributed to you being here right now.
Very good. What we do, I know, Keith, that when we were putting together the roster for the 2021-22 team, we wanted to focus on pitching and defense. We didn't field the ball well last year at all. So now we just found out through Sports Information, we set the school record for fielding. We fielded at a 962%. So when you field the ball well, you're a leading hitting team. We've led the conference in hitting 3 out of the last 4 years. So we know if we can keep the margin close, there's a chance for us to come back. And I tell you what, those last 3 innings were, in a nutshell, an example of what this season's been about. Stay close and wait for the offense to come through. And the offense got hot at the most opportune time, and it took us to a win. And we were on our heels for a little bit after that 8th inning. But this team hits, and as long as we swing the bat and continue to get decent, good quality at bats and discipline at bats, we have a shot.
Coach, you all draw East Carolina. The team Norfolk State played last year. Is there any advantage to having this happen?
We quite honestly don't know. I know we have a couple of student athletes on the baseball team that knows a lot about East Carolina. They've got friends that play on that team. They're a well-coached team that got really hot at the end. The last 3 weeks of college baseball season, East Carolina has been on a roll. They've been really good. And it's all about when you go on that roll, and they're one of the hottest teams in college baseball. And I know having a vote in the top 25 for USA Today, I've watched those teams. And I've watched those teams get hot at the end. And East Carolina is one of those teams, but we'd rather face them than Tennessee, quite honestly.
Coach, I know y'all gonna be happy to be there, but one needs to be done to make some noise and knock some teams off and really shock the world, let's say.
Yeah, Keith, this team is not afraid. Don't back down from anyone. I think that, you know, trying to get the adrenaline under control early is going to be the key. We don't want it to take us to 4th inning and realize, hey man, in the big scheme of things, this is just another college baseball game. But if we can go out there even keel and have command of our emotions and our adrenaline, I think nothing that we do from a successful standpoint will surprise anyone on this coaching staff. It just won't.
Backing it up a little bit, 15, 20 years ago, you were coaching high school ball, Catonsville, Western Tech. Just talk about the journey to get here.
It was a long time coming, and it was one of those things where I've had a lot of friends that jumped into college baseball, quite honestly, a lot sooner than I did. Sometimes things don't happen when you want it to happen. So it was one of those things when I got the call to apply for this position, giving my local roots. I tell you what, from where we began, when I had an inter-squad game with a total of 12 players, and we would have 8 on defense. We'd have 3 teams, 8 on defense, and then 4 team would bat, and we would have a right center fielder and a left center fielder. Okay, that's how we did inter-squad games. Man, it was dire back in those days. But you know, this is for all the guys that were part of the 2011, 2012 team where we were grinding, man, and didn't know how we were going to survive. But this is for all of those guys that kind of started setting those steps in a path towards where we are today. And we owe it to the original guys that were on those teams where we were really hurting back then. We good? Thanks, guys.